At the moment, my 10-year-old son and I are reading this book. It's Woodwalker's La Métamorphose de Carhague. It's a book in French that's quite thick, with terms that are quite complex. So I often check with him if he understands everything. And sometimes I'm very surprised to see that he does. And what helps him are these words that are very similar, that sound similar in French and English. These are called cognates. But other times, there are also words that sound similar, but that mean things that are different. These are false friends. So today, Uta and I are going to talk to you about how we can help our children to differentiate these false friends in a fun way.
Language is deeply intertwined with culture, and exploring false friends and cognates opens doors to understanding different cultural perspectives. Now, knowing what words are false friends and cognates in our languages is crucial, especially when communicating with multilinguals, because it allows us to avoid misunderstandings and communicate more effectively. Now, when learning a new language, I always recommend starting with words that we already know and that sound similar or the same in the other language or languages we know, and that have the same meaning in the new language. Now, focusing on cognates really makes access to the new language much easier, like hotel, music, restaurant, chocolate, coffee, information. They share similar meanings and roots across languages. This is now a short list of cognates in Dutch, French, Italian, German, and English. Maybe you can find some that work also for your languages. Things get more complicated when it comes to false friends, which are words that sound similar but have different meanings. For me, the word eventually is one I need to be careful about when I use it in English, where it means finally, whereas in German, Italian, and French, the same word, eventuel, eventualmente, éventuellement, means maybe or possibly. Or the word library. In Italian, libreria is the word for a bookstore, whereas what is called library in English, so to say the place where you can borrow books and spend time reading and studying, is called biblioteca. The same in French, librairie et bibliothèque. This is now a list of examples of false friends in German, Italian, French, Spanish, and Dutch versus English. Maybe some of them work also for your languages. Let us know in the comments. Let me share a game to explore false friends. It's called Word Swap. You identify false friends and learn their correct meanings in different languages. You need a set of pieces of paper with false friends written on them, 1 word per card, 2 containers labeled with the languages, and a timer. You write down the false friends on the paper, ensuring you have pairs of words in both languages. For example, gift in German, poison, and gift, English, present. Now place the containers labeled with the languages being studied, for example, on the opposite side of the playing area. Divide the players into 2 teams. Each team takes turns selecting a paper from the pile. The team reads the word on the paper and must decide which container to place it in based on its meaning in the context of the game. For example, agenda, calendar, and schedule. And the team is playing, let's say, in English and Spanish. And they would place it in the Spanish container because in Spanish, agenda means calendar or schedule, whereas in English, it means a list or plan of things to be done. It's up to the players now whether they want to read it out, say it out loud, or show the word. If the team correctly identifies the language container to place the word in, they earn a point. If the team incorrectly identifies the language container, the opposing team has a chance to steal the point by correctly placing the word. Now you can keep track of points for each team. You can set a time limit and declare the team with the most points as the winner. After the game, you can renew the words and their meanings in both languages. And I also invite you to discuss the misconceptions and reinforce also the correct meanings of the false friends. In our Toolbox for Multilingual Families, you can find other games and activities to explore false friends, like, for example, multi-meaning words across languages. As for lists of false friends and cognates, we share a few links in the description.
Generally, when my sons use a term in the wrong context, I correct them. And regarding correction, I would like to invite you to check out this video that we made previously explaining how we can correct our children without getting them frustrated. We're going to leave the link in the description below. And as you know, Uto and I love helping children improve in their languages in a fun way. So here's for you a third game. It's a game that I play with my sons to help them recognize cognates and differentiate false friends. So to play this, you're going to need a paper, pen, scissors, and a counter or any figurine your child would like to use to play with. To play, your child needs to move the counter one box at a time, and the aim is to get to the other end. Here you can see that I used Pokemon images to make the board game a little nicer, but you don't need to. And to start, you or your child are going to turn around the first paper on top of the pile. It has two words that are either two false friends or two cognates. Your child will have to use each of the words in each language and need to use them correctly to be able to move forward by one box. If the words are not used properly, they stay where they are. And you can explain at that time how to use the words and what they mean and put them back at the bottom of the pile. And to make it more fun, you can even add dares. So you can say that if the words are used correctly, your child moves by one box, but you, the parent, has to have a dare. But if they get it wrong, they need to stay where they are and they have a dare. And if your child finds it a bit difficult to know if they are false friends or cognates, you can even make it a bit easier for them by just telling them, these are cognates or these are false friends.
Playing with false friends and cognates enriches language learning experiences, and it fosters communication skills and cultural appreciation. Now, our children and we too, we can learn to differentiate them by using them, by being corrected and by self-correcting. Learning to use these terms correctly in each language is not an easy task. So let's remember to take our time to consider the learning like a game. We can and must make mistakes to learn. And first and foremost, I invite you to just keep it fun and like a playful challenge.
We have many more quick and easy games for all ages in our books, the Toolbox for Multilingual Families and the Parent's Guide to Raising Multi-literate Children. You can find the links in the description below. And if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to our channel so you can be notified whenever we publish a new video.
Have fun with your languages.